My name is Priscilla Harris, and I served as the Intergovernmental Relations Coordinator for Mayor Crawford. And I am very pleased to welcome you back
Thank you.
to Tulsa. It's always good to see you returning.
Always good to see you.
You know, I know you moved to your hometown of Columbus, Ohio, and I always wondered, why did you move back to your hometown?
Well, Priscilla, after 22 great years here in Tulsa, my mother turned 90, and Mom was the only surviving parent. I had lost my father, and Joanne lost both of her parents in the 70s. And she was putting the pressure on Joanne. She wanted us to be a little closer to her because of her age, just turning 90. So we went back, and it was the right move because we had Mom for another 9.5 years. She lived to be 99 and a half.
99 and a half.
99 and a half.
That is something.
Yes.
What do you miss about Tulsa?
Everything. I would start with the people. The people, as I said earlier, the people of Tulsa will spoil you because they're so kind, so responsive when needs are brought to their attention. I'll miss things like Brahms ice cream. We don't think anybody makes a better hamburger than Goldie's. I know they sound like commercials, but I'm not plugging them. But the things I would miss, the Savoy for a good breakfast, celebrity attractions, my good friend Larry Payton, of course yourself, and the former mayors that we get together, thanks to Mayor Taylor, who has brought us together for summer conferences and the dedication of this facility. So I just miss everything, and we both had intended to spend the rest of our life here. But when Mother called, as Bear Bryant once said, you have to respond.
You have to respond,
that's
right. So, what do you see as some of your major accomplishments when you were mayor of Tulsa?
Well, I always start with the same thing, jobs. Government on the city level, state level, federal level, it's not going to go anywhere unless there are people gainfully employed and paying taxes, so we can get into those things. Our country today, as you know, Priscilla, the thing that the pundits, Wall Street may be going fairly well, better than Main Street, but the truth of the matter is there's still high unemployment. They say 10.2%. The underemployment's probably closer to 20%. And until we can create more jobs, we can't do much of anything. Here in the city, it was imperative if people were thinking of bringing an industry in or expanding an existing industry, they looked at the infrastructure. They looked at the schools. And so you have to have a vibrant, hardworking community in order to create the jobs that maintain that community.
I remember during your term of office, you started the Business Action Center, and you had a team together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, it was Don Cannon really helped put that group together, and in fact, one time we were depicted on Tulsa Magazine as the Blues Brothers. But it was a group that worked on economic development, and we set up a incubator, they were called, Economic Development Center for North Tulsa. It was located in North Tulsa, where aspiring young entrepreneurs could come in with their different ideas for business and test market them there. And if they were successful, we would help in the funding of it, and they would start their company, and 70–80% of the jobs in this country come from small businesses. So that was our incubator, and we had some degree of success with, not as much as you'd like to have. You'd like to have all of them hit a home run, but that's not the case. But the ones that did meant growth for our economy.
I know one of the things that I remember certainly about your administration was the establishment of the Tulsa Hall of Fame.
Oh yes, that was a labor of love, and we really got the idea because of the wonderful, great number of wonderful people that had come out of Oklahoma in the athletic world, in industry, in entertainment, and we focused in the first group with Paul Harvey, native-born Tulsan, of course. And we got into Paul Harvey and Patty Page, and just the list was without end of people that had come either right here from Tulsa or surrounding area or the state of Oklahoma. Jim Thorpe, the greatest athlete in the history of this country. Will Rogers and Bob Hope himself said that, all of us that earn our bread this way have a great debt of gratitude to Will Rogers because he made it all possible. He was really the pioneer. Patty Page, Tennessee Walls, Mickey Mantle, arguably the greatest baseball player in history. Johnny Bench from little Binger, Oklahoma. Warren Spahn, the Big Chief, Allie Reynolds. A slew of golfers that have come out of that great Oklahoma State University program. And so there were so many people, Sam Walton, richest man in the world, Little Kingfisher, Oklahoma. There's so many people to salute, so we thought this would be a good way, and we would benefit, they would benefit by being honored. We would benefit by everybody saying, hey, I didn't realize all these people were from Oklahoma.
Right. Well, we are here at the BOK Center, and I know during your term of office, you established the Sports Commission.
Oh, yes.
And tell us a little bit about that, your first chairman of the commission, and what you really envision for.
Well, in order to attract things like recently Tulsa's gained the NCAA Regional Basketball Tournament, the return of Nolan Richardson with the WNBA franchise, in order to attract those kind of individuals and events, you've got to have an organization that can bid for that. And so we started the Tulsa Sports Commission with the help of Steve Davis and Helen Inbody, and Becky was saying that she helped out on that too. We had a lot of business people, people interested in sports, of course, and so last year when I came here, Priscilla, at the invitation of the mayor for the opening of the BOK, I felt just a personal, strong sense of pride that, wow, look, one of the things that helped was that commission to get this thing going. So it was a great labor of love because I'm like most people. I love my athletics, male and female, and go to the sports page first thing in the morning.
So you saw this also as an economic development opportunity
no
for
question,
Tulsa.
and a vehicle to bring in those teams and those events that would enhance the economy and create jobs. People flowing in by the thousands, spending money at hotels and restaurants. So I'm very, very proud of that. The work we put into that.
Well, I know it's great to be here. In being with the mayors today, I know we have a different form of government now. We have the strong mayor, city council form of government. When you were mayor, it was under the commission form of government.
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like being the mayor during that time?
I feel I was fortunate compared. I know a lot of people today are worried about, well, different districts or wards getting maybe a little too parochial. Under the commission form of government, with people like J.D. Metcalf and Houston Adams and Roy Gardner and Gary, these were people that had in and of themselves great backgrounds, great vidas, as they say. And if there was something that was good for Tulsa, Oklahoma, it didn't matter whether they were Republican or Democrat, they were going to go with it. Today, you can find people, and that's understandable, that's ward politics. You can find people say, well, it might be good for Tulsa, but I don't know about the 7th District or the 5th District. So I think we had an advantage in the ability to get together on more important issues for the city through the commission form of government. So I was glad I spent my years.
And you conducted the meetings.
Oh yes, we were at
2 times
the
a week.
The mayor was at city council. We were there all the time. Of course, you kept me straight by going over the entire agenda. We would sit there. I remember those times, and sometimes I'd get a little antsy or something. But you had the patience of Job, and you had the ability and the intellect that you'd go through every item on that agenda. So there were no surprises when we went to the council meeting.
I know you talked about the spirit of Tulsa, the people. What do you see as the future of Tulsa?
Well, as I said a little earlier, you've got in place the most important ingredient. That's the people themselves. And I think if the government gets into a posture where they're really serving the people, Priscilla, through the years, we've kind of switched that around. In the founding, it was all that these were public servants. They served the people. It's gotten to the place, too many places, where, well, the incumbent feels like they should be served, and that's wrong. So I think if you take the people that you have in this city and work with them and keep the good lines of communication, Tulsa will continue to prosper even more in the future.
Well, thank you, Mayor Crawford, for coming back to Tulsa and being a part of this interview for the Tulsa Mayor's Library. And it's certainly good to see you again, and you know that you are always welcome in Tulsa.
I appreciate that, Priscilla, and it's my pleasure, I assure you.
Thank you.